Alright, so this is part 2 of our video on 3 tones of wood. And we're back on the basically wood tone and rub tone. And remember, the violin website's called violinresearch.com, and there's about 300 pages of information. There's a index, there's a easy to use kind of a violin with the parts labeled so you can find what you're looking for. This part about acoustical properties for finding articles similar to these wood tone and rub tone and so on. Okay, so we're back on to the wood tone. So what I'd like to do now is give you a guide that you can use in picking out your own wood. And remember, it's the first knuckle of the middle finger generates the wood tone. Okay. So a leather mallet, it's a deerskin mallet. You can see it's rolled up. This is a rawhide mallet you can buy commercially for I think $20 and maybe $30, and it's raw skin with probably an epoxy, and you have to kind of hammer the end here and get it loosened up to get it get rid of the overtone sound. So I just used a framing hammer and just beat on it to soften it up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just tap these wood tone blocks. So the ones we're really interested in would be in this range. So I'll just work on 176, 198. You can use this for reference picking out your own wood. 213. 242. And 287. Sometimes you'll find some 287. Okay. Now the important one besides that is the rub tone. And so the combination of the right wood tone and the ideal rub tone, which is 22. You can make excellent instruments, whether it's a piano, a violin, a harp, a wooden flute, a violoncello, viola. So the rub tone, you just stroke it along the grain, and this is our ideal 22. Also 22. Okay, 21 and a half. 21. Okay, it's 22 again. This is ideal, is what we'd like. 22 and a half. And 23. So this is what we want, and this is the range, lower or higher. So any wood different than that you should really reject. So from here to there, here to there, here's about a 10% drop in tone quality. So really, that's what you want. Okay, here it is again. Stroke a piece of wood you have and compare it. So let me grab some wood over here. Okay, I'll just. So here's a piece of wood that I purchased. Is maple from northern Michigan. It was underwater for 100 years, and they brought it to the surface and dried it. And I heard wood soaked in cold water for a long period of time is good. But is it on the wood tone scale? It's just clearly it's not in harmony. And see what it is. So it's in between there, and I estimated it's about 222. As far as rub tone scale, let's hear how it's doing. Way down, and it's actually a 6 on the wood rub tone scale, so I'll make something else out of that. Here's a piece of bird's eye maple, and I'd made a bird's eye maple violin before that turned out pretty good. One that turned out not so well, or kind of mediocre. So on this piece of wood, let's see, is it on the wood tone scale? Using the first knuckle of the middle finger. And so this is higher. Let's use a deerskin mallet. So it's off the scale. And believe it or not, this is up almost so it's between 352 and 396, so probably 370 or something. But the rub tone, let's see how close it is. So it's not only way off the wood tone scale, it's only a 13 rub tone. So that's going to make some kind of a decorative piece or a cutting board or something. Okay, well, what about this well-flamed piece of broadleaf maple? Okay, see, it's on the wood tone scale. It is. Okay, so right away it's on the wood tone scale. That's very good. Let's see, what about the rub tone? That's what we want. Compare it to 23. No? 21. So it says both the has an ideal 22, so that's a very good thing. Here, listen to what it sounds like. Notice the wood tone scale is the same no matter what angle you tap it on. And the rub tone is the same no matter which surface you rub it on. Now let's see, which of the wood tones is it? It's 242. It's maple, and let's see, I got it written down as 213. Let's see if it is. So it's 213, which is, I think, very usable for a wooden instrument because it's 22, and this is what we wanted if we could get it, 242. So there's a little drop off, maybe 10% loss in tonal quality, but it's be second best. So I've marked it second best. Okay. Alright, so this is some beautiful Romanian flamed maple, and I've already, on the wood tone scale, so it's 213, so it's 213 we'd like, 242 for necks, but again, there's a little bit of a drop off. Not much of a drop off, so this would be second quality, got the right rub tone, 22, 213, and then this is an example of .242, also 22, and then this is the difference in the tone quality between 213 on the wood scale and 242 on the wood scale. Both are 22. So you hear the difference. This is good. That's better. So on the website violinresearch.com, if you look, there'll be a there it is. Sheet that looks like this. It's design goals for violin construction, and these are all the different violin parts. It mentions what kind of wood that part's made out of, like the neck is made out of maple. This is the ideal wood tone. This is based on research. Some of these might change. And this is the ideal tap tone. And a 22 rub tone is the ideal for all these parts, whether it's ebony or maple or spruce. 22 with a range of 21 to 23. So here's 20, 21, or 23. So it's either here, but that's one we want. 20, 22 is best, 23, 22, 22. Okay, and that'll be published here very shortly if it's not already. So that's a quick guide. Here's a little mini set of wood blocks. So we still got 4 minutes. So this is actually cut out of the same pieces of wood. And interestingly enough, this wood is from Mount St. Helens volcano in Washington State, and it was wood that grew in a spruce forest near the timberline before the volcano erupted and destroyed all the timber. So they're kind of a rare wood. And another interesting thing is 70% of this wood, of the random pieces I bought, were on the wood tone scale, so it's very high, and that's probably why it's so musical. Okay, so on these, so they're all in harmony with each other. This is 162, 176, 198, 213, 242, 287, 327. I'm sorry, 324. 352, 396. And these are the pieces we'll be using for our instrument making. 198. What's going to do with my knuckle? 213. 242. There's 287, which would be rare. So that's the basic idea. We want to get parts have the right tap tone as you're making the instrument, have the right wood tone, and then the right rub tone. So again, see the rub tone on these pieces go from 17, 24, 22, 28, 22, 24, 22, 26, and 24. Let me just order those by, and I'll show you the difference it makes here. You guys says 24, 22, so I get 3 ideal at 22, and this is at 24. Okay. So there's only one that's low and these others are high. But listen to the sound quality. 22, 22, 22. And the difference between 22 and 26 is 4. So you're losing an awful lot. So 22 to 24, those are both 24. 25 drop off. 25 to 26 drop off. 26 to 28 drop off. And 22 to 17. Okay, that's why the 22 rub tone is so important. Okay, so that's going to be my little instructional video on rub tone. The tap tone, of course. An interesting thing about this tap tone tool is it also incorporates the wood tone. So this is 242 wood tone, and that's 198 wood tone, and this is 213 wood tone, and they're all at 22. So I'll leave you with this wood tone demonstration here. This is really important for your picking out your instruments. That's what you want, 22. And the wood tone, 198, 242.